You need the glue too, I guess. I guess I'll get that too then. It's 1:30 right now. I could probably go get the part and be back by, I can be back by next Thursday, next week. You want to go get the truck and bring it in here? What else do you need?
Can I use my system?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't use this thing, but yeah, you could use the other. You have what, a couple bathrooms in here?
Grab those bags and take them back up to the truck.
Well, so are we gonna come back a different day or are we gonna call someone else out? Because that's 3 bags and just 2 guys. Today? Yo, what's up, man? Fresh, first day on the job. What's poppin'? Just passed that Bud Light Stockton.
Nice to meet you. Are those the only shoes you brought?
Yo, you like them? Y'all don't got AC?
Not out here.
That's sus, bro. What's up, baby? What's it do? Man, it's gonna be me and you out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Slanging and banging. You and me all day, every day. What?
Fresh air.
Bussin', bro. Man, what y'all got up in the fridge, dude? Oh, apple juice! You should get me on there, man, with a fit check. With the flat cap bill, rocking them Jordan 4s, right? With the Home Hero shirt. I've gone to shops where literally guys will pull me aside and be like, man, I love all this stuff you're teaching, but if I do this, I'll be out till midnight. They're just gonna give me more calls. And it's heartbreaking. It's like, man, what's the real goal here? Like if I've got 12 tables in a restaurant and I can serve those 12 people and give them the best experience ever and I can be profitable. If I wanna make more money, I'm gonna add a 13th table. I'm not gonna add a 13th customer. Meaning I'm gonna increase my capacity. I'm not just gonna shove more people into my capacity. My room fits 56 people and I wanna sell more tickets to my event. I either have to increase the capacity or hold separate events. I can't put 115 people into a room of 57 people.
They want a tankless and a softener installed. They don't have either, and they've already been approved for financing.
What's that got to do? So you want me to go out there and do that call?
Well, they also say they've been having trouble with their sewer line and been wanting to replace it for a while, but they can't find somebody who they like to do it, but they think they trust us.
I don't want to have to work super hard to get it though. You want me to repipe the house, put it in a new tankless, softener. Did you say something about a sewer line?
That's what it looks like. I think we should go check it out, man.
No, bro, this is ridiculous. And is this commission?
Yeah, I already talked to the owner about it. He wants to actually double your commission on it because it's such a big job.
No. So you want me to go out there, you want me to run this call, it's a bunch of work and a bunch of money or whatever, but it's also a bunch of taxes, and you're gonna have people out there helping me, watch me, do what I do, and then you want me to get it done faster so I make even more money, and then I have to, take another call because now I'm done by Thursday or something?
What else are you gonna be doing instead here, Steve? This is the job, man.
You got any odor smells or anything like that on there? Like maybe like in a different, maybe just... Why does on-call suck? Well, look, here's the thing. Most companies that do on-call 24/7 after hours, they don't treat it the same way they do during normal hours. They have a full staff and they have a full support system if someone calls between 8 and 5. But then after hours, they don't have a CSR, they don't have a supply staff, they don't have a lot of other things, and they want to go out and charge the same rates to the customer, if not even more, because they're doing after hours work. If you want to charge more and do on-call, then provide more service after hours. If you can't provide at least the same service that you provide during the day after hours, then you shouldn't do it. Think of it like an emergency room. Not every doctor is open after hours, but emergency rooms have a full staff after hours. Be an emergency room or be a doctor. But you gotta pick one and make sure that whatever you pick, you can service to the full. When there's no plumbers to hire, there's still a lot of plumbers that don't work for you working in your city. You're just not known enough. And so everybody tries to be just known enough because you don't want to overspend your marketing. And he goes, well, what do you do with all the money you spend on leads that you can't get to? And I'm like, well, what do you do with all the money you don't make when you're slow? See how this goes both ways? So I would rather spend a couple extra thousand every month and waste it and be known and have leads and momentum and be moving forward and I can hire into than to have that day, just one day when I'm slow. Be a couple grand in revenue off of one truck that we don't get.
It's that time again!
You've now entered the No Sale Zone.
No Sales Zone.
Where Chris Fresh
The plumbing sales coach.
peels back the curtain of what sales really is. Buckle up. Buckle up. And get ready to learn how to increase ticket average by providing better service. And now, your host,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
CF.
The plumbing sales coach.
What is up? This is the Fresh Approach. It's been forever, but we have brought back the live show. What's up? Welcome to the show, everybody. Good to see all of you. It has been, like I said, about 3 or 4 years since we've done this live show. Now, we have a podcast, and we do a lot of things on the podcast, but I wanted to bring this back because I wanted to interact with you guys. I wanted to be able to answer questions and also just talk it out, discuss it. I remember when we used to do the show, we had a show on the screen, but we also had a show inside the comments. And I've got the comments right in front of me, so please be interactive and let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your questions are, and a lot of you will interact with one another. But tonight we're going to talk about follow-ups. Follow-ups is such a big deal. In fact, Jim Rohn back in the day said the fortune is in the follow-up, and so many others, Zig Ziglar, John C. Maxwell, so many of you. In fact, if you listened or had a mentor way back in the day, like a John C. Maxwell or a Zig Ziglar or a Jim Rohn, put their name in the comments. Let us know who you used to follow, who you listen to. There are so many people out there that have so many mentors that are so helpful. Look, relationship-based sales is not something I created. It's not something that really anyone created, to be honest with you. It's something I believe we were created to be, meaning we were meant to be in a relationship. And so relationship-based sales is always how I've done it. I think naturally. I think a lot of you do it naturally as well. And that's what I hear from a lot of you. What's up, Lance? Lance, where are you from? Where are all of you from? Let me know where you're from. He says, follow-up is everything for sure. We follow up constantly, and it's improved our business. You will absolutely look, there's no one that's ever followed up and regretted it. That I can tell you. John Maxwell, I see as one of them. What's up, JT? Good to see you. Robert Avila in the house. What up, what up? Sonia Evans, April Fresh, Matt. I think is it Tome or is it? I think it's Tome. I'm going to go with Tome. John Weiss, good to see you. He typed subscribe. Yeah, if you want to get subscribed to the show and you want to get alerts, type subscribe into the comments and you can get alerts from us and you'll know when we're going live, whenever we're doing shows in the future. Look, follow-up is crucial. Follow-up is absolutely crucial. It is the thing that will keep you in business. I want you to think about this math for a second. I was doing this math. I don't know if you've ever done the math, but the lifetime value of a customer. And I actually had someone on staff challenge me to do this. Someone on our team challenged me to do this. Lisa said, hey, Chris, have you ever done the lifetime value of a plumbing customer? I thought, not really. I mean, I have, but I haven't, right? How many of you would say you've never done the lifetime value of a customer? It's going to shock you. It's a big number. In fact, if you think of a 2-bathroom home, and here's how I did it, by the way, just to get some credibility with it, so there's some believability in it. I figured that a water heater was replaced, I think, every 12 and a half years. I said a shower valve was replaced every 50 years, a toilet every 25 years. I think we did faucets at 25 years. And we did, I can't remember what else we did there. We did one time on the repipes and one time on the sewer line. And I think we did the sewer line at like 12 grand, and we did maybe the repipe and on both the sewer, on the drains inside and the water lines inside. I think we did those right around 18. I'm going to get just absolutely murdered on here if I give out any pricing, because the country everywhere is different. Some of you are in Canada, some of you are in Australia, some of you are in the U.S., all over the U.S., by the way. And so I always get killed whenever I say pricing, but whatever the price is. But I did around $70K for 2 bathrooms. Think about that, $70,000. And how much does it cost for a lead? And when you run calls, like when you're actually in the home as a plumber, when you're running the call, think about what you're up against. A lot of the times customers want to pay the least amount of money. They don't want to spend a ton of money. They're not looking to invest a fortune into their issue. In fact, for them, it's just a clogged toilet or it's just a commodity. And so we're up against this mountain all the time. So follow-ups is a great way to compensate for anything missed out on the beginning. In fact, if you follow up and you stay in front of your customers, a couple of things will happen. Maybe you've left an estimate And so when you follow up, you're following up on something that they're still discussing with a spouse. Or maybe they did a little bit of work, but they didn't do all the work, and so you're following up on that. Or maybe they did all the work, and you're following up a year later, or you're following up 6 months later, or you're following up a day later just to see how the experience went. In either case, follow-ups are absolutely crucial, and there's so many different types, and we're going to talk about those tonight. We're going to talk about those tonight. We got Peoria in the house. What up? We got Burlington, Vermont. Is that Vermont? Yeah. I'm geographically challenged. I'm also educationally challenged, so I don't always know the states and where they're at. What's up, Kelly in the house? What up? Roto-Rooter, Lance says, Mary says watching. Raylene says Denver, Colorado. Mile High City in the house. What's up? And the reception, I wonder how the reception is there. Been following you for some time. Love all the information you drop. Thank you so much for that. John says Peoria, Illinois. Good to see you. Okay, look, what's up, Anthony? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Okay, we're talking about follow-ups, and I'm going to make 3 points tonight. Okay, but the first point I really want to make, and I think this is the big mistake with follow-ups, is don't rely on your memory. Don't rely on your memory. If you let your memory be your strategic plan, you are in trouble. And I remember, we have an app that we develop for companies so that they can have their own app, so they can stay in front of their customers. In fact, the name of the app is ServeZito, or the name of the software is named ServeZito, but the name of the app would be your company. We have so many companies that have got this app. And it was funny is one of the bonuses that they get is we'll call their past customers. So we teach them how to get their customers to download the app so they stay in front of them. And then we call their past customers. And we were calling their past customers in the beginning, and I realized this pattern. In fact, my team realized this pattern. They told me about it. But Sam, who's on our team, he was making all the calls. He said, I noticed a major drop-off. When I call people who are 0 to 30 days out, meaning they did work with us within the last 30 days, they're like, you're awesome. Your guys were great. Everything works wonderful. I left you a review. You're amazing. You're amazing. The toilet still rocks a little. Okay, so we got a couple of those. And so you get this positive feedback. But when we went from 31 to 60 days, people were like, oh, yeah, you guys are, yeah, that's right. Thank you. A little hesitation in the memory. Almost a little kickstart there. When we went from 60 to 90 days, 61 to 90 days, it was like, oh, yeah, I remember doing plumbing. And, oh, yeah, I remember it was you. At 91 days and beyond, they don't even remember getting plumbing. I mean, I'm like, we repiped your house. You remember your house flooded? And they're like, nah, doesn't ring a bell. And it's like, what? Now I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the people that got toilet rebuilds, they don't remember. Cartridge rebuilds, they don't remember. Unclogged toilets, they don't remember. They don't remember. They don't remember. Anchorage, Alaska, what's up? Salt Lake City, Knoxville, Tennessee, DC in the house. What's up, Angel? My boy, Angel. Good to see you. Yeah, Salt Lake City, man. I went to high school in Ogden, Utah. My senior year, anyways. My parents moved me my senior year from Northern California to Utah. It was crazy. Culture shock. What's up, Robert Avila? So anyways, this follow-up thing, we're relying on memory. It's such a dangerous game. And, I mean, a lot of companies will put stickers in the home. Or, like, better yet, let me take this to a tech level as a plumber. Look, if you're out there offering up options and you're giving the customer choices, they're not always able to make those decisions right then. In fact, sometimes they'll go with the minor repair and they'll go with the major thing later. There's been several times where I've called someone a week later, 2 weeks later, and I go, hey, any more thought to the softener? Have you put any more consideration into the tankless? And they go, you know what? I'm glad you called. I thought about it and I want to do it. And I'm always kind of perplexed, like, dang, if I didn't call you, would you still have done the work? Would you have remembered to call me? And the truth is they wouldn't have. And you know why? It's not because they didn't want to do the work. You got to think about it. In life, there's always a pain. Okay, sometimes there's the pain of doing something. Sometimes there's the pain of not doing something. And so if the pain of doing something is greater than the pain of not doing something, that's the activity people are going to take. This really isn't rocket science. I will say it's people science. Raylene says, so similar across all sales and services. Absolutely. I mean, it's people. It's people. I watch most of your videos, make stuff entertaining for what can be a boring trade. Yeah, look, it's people, right? Thanks for that, Joe. We try to have fun with it. I mean, you'd be shocked how many people take those videos serious. We did one where I think I was poking the bear. I was making fun of kind of the Grant Cardone closing tactics type of sales training, and we said, sell the old lady the water heater, and I can't tell you how many comments we got, people that took that serious. A few of you commented and said, you give me hope that there's still humanity is still it's crazy out there. That's all I'm going to say. I share your videos daily with my team. They try your advice daily, and we love all of it. Love it, Garrett. Thank you for that. It's crazy. What's up, Brittany, Tony? Good to see you. Where are you guys from again? Some of you are jumping on here. Keep telling us where you're from. Yeah, so when you think about this idea of memory, we put the stickers in the home. So you've got this idea of someone who we leave a bigger follow-up to or a bigger project to, or we do something and we forget to follow up with them, or we don't call them back or whatever. And if we do, a lot of them will do work. It's just a phone call, right? And one more thing too, when you're doing these follow-up phone calls, do them in the name of service. Like, don't call someone up and be like, yo, so I was just seeing if maybe I'm having a rough week. Sales are low. You want to get that softener? Like, that's not what I'm saying. But maybe just be like, hey, I was out there a week ago. I did that toilet. I want to make sure everything's cool. Want to make sure everything's still going well for you. Is that running right? Had any other problems? Everything great? Follow up on it. And then go, any other questions? Maybe some of the other options I left. Maybe something more soft like that. A little more service oriented. How should we send out the email campaign after completing a job? William may teach that in the paid course. I'm totally joking. It's not like that, bro. Man, those people on the internet, they're like, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know except for how to do it, and you got to pay me for that. Man, forget that. I always thought, like, if what you have is good enough, just put it out there. A lot of people always accuse me of saying, those that teach can't do it. Man, I still run calls. Texas in the house. Look at how he capitalized everything. That's classic Texas. Everything's got to be bigger. Dude, if you own a piece of property in Texas, I think they have a law down there. I can't prove it, but you have to paint a building the flag. I think that's like a law or a rule, an HOA. Everything's capitalized. JT says, definitely learned a lot from you and your love for teaching people what true service is about. A lot of you'd be shocked. Thanks, JT. I've ran calls with JT, been in the. Oh man, am I allowed to do this, team? Can I I'm breaking every rule, but I ran a call with that guy one time and bought these shoes off a customer. Wild story, but it's my company colors. I was down there doing a shop visit. I think we did like about a $6,500 call on that one. That was crazy. The guy, it was a crazy story, actually. The follow-up is great time, value stack as well. Call back to the time you were there goes such a long way. Oh my gosh, it does. What about if you didn't get a job and left options? I'd be like, bro, what? No, I'm kidding. If you don't get a job and you left options, okay, first of all, that can happen. But anytime I don't get a job, number one, if they have an active problem, two things. I'm going to ask them what I maybe could have done different. I'm going to let them know, like, straight up, it's not normal for me to leave someone with an active problem. Is there anything I could have done different? I'm not making them feel bad. I don't want to make them put it off any pressure, but I want to make sure I did them right. If I did everything right, then I'm going to ask for a follow-up time. Okay, what goes into your decision? Like, do you have to talk to someone, whatever? And it's never in the sense of like, trying to talk them out of talking to that person. I just want to understand that more so I can assist them. Maybe I need to give them a little more information. Maybe the other person is going to ask different questions than they ask. So I'm going to ask them what those questions might be, give them that information, so forth and so on. And I always want to make myself available. I always want to make myself available without forcing myself on them. It's a tricky thing. It's a relationship, right? He said on a gas line quote, oh, that's right. It was dude had he was getting a new kitchen remodel, like new cabinets and stuff, and he wanted the kitchen sink faucet was running, if I remember correctly, nonstop. But that wasn't even what we were there for. We were there for a gas line quote outside for a grill, maybe. Ended up doing a tankless and a bunch of stuff, crazy stuff. Found it. I think we were checking the gas, everything. We were going to quote him on the gas line. I was checking the rest of the gas, checking the different, the rest of the load, the regulator. And I think I came across, if I'm not mistaken, JT, I came across sagging expansion tank while I was looking at a gas water heater. The gas water heater was old. It was fine. Told him it was fine, but the expansion tank was sagging. That's right. Man, that was like forever ago, 4 years ago. That was a while ago. Didn't even have the stove yet, he said. That's right, he didn't. But we did that work. Well, you did that work. I was on a shop visit, so I rolled out. Okay, what's up, Michael Lewis? Good to see you. Nick, what's up? William Yamas. William Yamas. That name sounds so familiar to me. You used to watch the show back in the day? Okay, look, don't rely on memory. Okay, just like this team doesn't rely on my memory to get us back on track. They have to remind me sometimes. Don't rely on memory because at the end of the day, the customer's not going to remember you. Life goes on. You know, I was sitting there thinking about that time that Sam was calling those customers, and I was like, why? How did they forget us? And I started thinking, like, what a world we live in right now. I mean, we live in a world where everything is clickbait, like click on, click on, click on. People are trying to make money on views, and everyone's trying to be a social media influencers. Everyone's trying to have the next big story. They're trying to get the next person on the airline freaking out and losing their mind or being drunk at the airport or the next body cam or the next what you know what I'm talking about. All y'all be watching that same stuff I be watching. I know it. And right, am I right? What's your cup of poison? What's your guilty pleasure? Tell me what's the topic that you can't. What's the videos that they keep throwing in your algorithm because that's the ones you like. Come to Cleveland, man. I have a team that can learn some things. Cleveland. It's cold there. I'm just joking. Love seeing you save family-owned businesses. Ashley, you're one of the greatest success stories I've had the privilege of being a part of. I mean, you guys have absolutely crushed it. My man John, what up? Andrew Cornwell in the house. I see you peeking on here, brother. Don't you sneaky sneaks? That's another one. Another great success story in our program. Those guys are killers, brothers, out of Westfield, Indiana. I mean, that's where I live. You guys are in Brownsburg. I'm in Westfield. All right, what up? What up? All right, good to see you, man. Hey, look, so don't rely on the customer's memory. We put these stickers in the home. You know, we were talking about kind of like the salesperson or the technician following up, but also as a company, you put these stickers in the home. Hopefully you're doing a service agreement. Hopefully, this is why I'm not big on yearly subscription fees for service agreements because it's a yearly touch point. If you do monthly subscription fees, it's a monthly touch point. Shouldn't really be making money. I mean, you can make money on subscription fee. That's not my big deal. My big deal on subscription fees is actually retention. It's like the Super Saver Club for Kroger or whatever, right? That's how I look at it. Land Cruiser engine swaps. I see those eyes. I'm tired of learning things from you. That's like, I don't. My kids feel that comment. Look, man, when you're doing follow-ups too, and you're relying on memory, you better have left an amazing impression on them because again, like this, I said, this world is just full of clickbait, and you know that we're attacking this country. When I was a kid, man, we attacked one country every president. We did. Like I don't want to make. I opened a can of worms. I didn't mean to do that, but I'm just saying, like in the last 12 years, it is crazy on the internet. It's crazy on the internet. Crazy. So I see how people forget. People forget there's so much stuff coming at us all the time. So much noise. Okay, second point I want to make with follow-ups. First one is never rely on the customer's memory. The second one is you have to have a reason. And I kind of touched on this a minute ago. I talked about this idea that you got to have a reason because the reality is if the customer thinks you're just following up, it'd kind of be like this. If you opened up Facebook or TikTok or whatever and it was just ad, and then it was like a post, you wouldn't want to be on those platforms. And they know that. So they know that they got to give you a lot of content before they mix in an ad. Same with TV. You have a TV show, you get a good 4 or 5 minutes of content, of funny content, and then bam, they hit you with 6 or 7 or 25 commercials. Central PA, they hit you with 25 commercials. And so that's I'm just joking, but they hit you with a bunch, right? Now, the Super Bowl is a little different. That's part of the show. Some of you are only watching the Super Bowl for the commercials. I use a lot of your content as teach tools for my team. Much appreciated. Yeah, we just want to impact the industry. That's all we want to do. That's why we do things different. We do the free show. We do the free podcasts. We have TikTok. I've got a pricing calculator out there on the App Store that you can download for free. It's so much stuff out there. And then the crazy thing is, like, when you get on our app, you can't even buy anything on there. We're not very good at selling. We're really good at serving, though. And then we just hope that you guys realize we have a program, and if you like what you see, maybe one day. Should the technician be able to do a follow-up with their customer? If no, why? I mean, honestly, look, I think I understand the question. From an owner perspective, we need to protect our customers. We need to protect the data. We need to protect their information. From an employment standpoint, with my employee or my team, I want to be able to give them the freedom to build relationships with the customer. So in that case, maybe you have a process for that, but absolutely, I want them doing follow-ups. I want them checking in. Maybe they do them from the office. But I definitely want them doing those because they have the relationship. They're the ones that have that relationship. They're the ones the customer trusts. They also understand the talking points. They're going to have the memory. They're going to be able to reestablish relationship. Like, hey, Mrs. Whitaker, I was in your home last week. I was the one that I have the 2 little dogs and the little girls. And she's like, oh yeah. And that's magic for follow-up. Need a calculator for Android. Martin, what happened was, Martin, I remember you from Martin Human. I cannot forget Human, the last name Human. I have the last name Fresh, so I remember unique names. But need a calculator for Android. The thing is that we realized that people that have Androids can't afford our program, so we didn't make the calculator. I'm joking. I am joking. Hopefully please put a laughy face. Please put a laughy face. I'm joking. Totally joking. Chris Banks, what's up? We're working on it, though, and all jokes aside, Martin, we're working on it. We're okay. I see the happy. Okay, we're working on it, though, just so you know. So when we do these follow-ups, we got to have a reason. So think about it like this. If I'm calling someone a year later and I say, hey, I was out there used to have one a few years ago. Man, you used to have our calculator a few years ago. Okay, I'm done. So when you think about like the, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Follow-ups. When we think about follow-ups, we got to have a reason. Okay, so think about it like this, a year ago. So let's say I'm at a customer's house maybe like 11 months, 2 weeks ago, and I rebuilt the water heater. The water heater, canceled. The water heater, I love you, bro, Vince. The water heater is 12 months old. Chris McGann's calling me right now. Tell Chris McGann to get on the show. Oh man, this is going nowhere. This is going nowhere fast. I see the viewer counts dropping. Okay, no, we're talking about follow-ups, everyone. So a year ago, this is good. I promise it'll be worth the wait. I'll make this worth the wait. So you talk about like 11 months, 2 weeks ago. I call a customer back. Typically, you got a year warranty on a rebuild on a water heater, a new gas valve, or something like that. So you call the customer back and you say, hey, look, this was Chris from ABC Plumbing Company. I was out there a year ago. We did some work on your water heater. And what we did was we rebuilt it. That warranty's coming up. I want to make sure everything's good, everything's fine, everything's wonderful. Having any issues? How's everything working for you? And then from there, they're going to answer. They're going to say whatever. And then I'm going to say, okay, hey, look, just so you know, it's due for a flush. What we could do is, and then maybe you attach an offer. Maybe you hook what we call a call to action offer, a CTA offer. Basically, something to get them to want to change their buying habits. And you say, we'll do a half price flush for all of our customers that did a repair a year ago. The bingo bango, that's a year. We should make a graphic for that. Bingo bango. Dang, dude, I'm bringing that back. Who wants to bring bingo bango back? All right. Anyways, is this recorded and shareable, Jeff? Yeah, please share it. Please. That's my job. I'm supposed to ask you to share it. I love it, Jeff. Jeff does not work for us. That's hilarious. Yeah. So you call your customer up and say, we were out there a year ago. There's my reason. We were out there a year ago. I want to make sure everything's good. Your warranty is expiring. Now, first of all, just put yourself in the customer's shoes. Isn't that great service? Isn't that just great service? Of course it is, right? Because it's considerate. It's a considerate follow-up. It's not just give me money. I want to make money. Things are, hey, we were out there a year ago and we did repairing your water heater. You're like, dun 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 dun. You're like the shark swimming around. Like, I see you. I see you. Hey, any chance that water heater's failing? Any chance you want to spend money? Right? Like what? That's what a lot of follow-ups are. We're starting this tomorrow. We're starting this tomorrow. Why so serious, JK? Yeah, I'm super serious all the time. They call me Mr. Serious. When I was in high school, they said most likely to be serious when you grow up. Hey, look, what's the just before I give you the third point, right? Now's my time. Now's my chance to hook you. No, in all seriousness, type subscribe if you want to get connected to the show. Just type the word subscribe. And if you type the word subscribe, you'll get a message in your messenger, and it'll just simply say, hey, thanks for subscribing to the show. You got to click one more button to confirm that. Because if you don't do that, then we can't message you and alert you. It's a regulation set by MiniChat, the FBI, the CIA, DEA, KGB, the MTT, the MJT, all the people. But it's now, in all seriousness, you gotta play the game because that's what the regulations say. I don't know enough to tell you why, other than you have to do it. Okay, you just have to do it. So click the buttons. What do we got here? Subscribe. What's up, Laura? Good to see you. Guy White in the house. Good to see you. What's up? What's up? Dude, that is an amazing thing that you just said. If we install a water heater anytime 1 year later, we should be reaching, that's a lot for me to read. I'm not a good reader. We should be reaching out, offering them a flush at half price just to get back into their house and see if they have any other issues. Yeah, I think it's just service. So it's not really even following up. Like you could apply this to really anything. If I did a jetting, if I did I'm sorry, I'm going blank here. If I did a jetting, or maybe I help me here with I'm struggling, guys. What I'm thinking about is lining a sewer line right now, and the thing that we do right before we line that line, it's called help me out here. I'm struggling. We're failing. We're falling apart. I don't know why I'm having this moment. I wish Jeff Lane was on here right now. Charlene said unsubscribe. I mean subscribe. How do you approach follow-ups to a customer that didn't buy on an initial call? I'll get on that. No, it's not a jetter, Laura. I'm just struggling right now. I'm just having a moment. It'll come to me like a whirlwind as soon as the show ends. With all the fancy light. D-scale. Thanks, Lance. It's a D-scale. D-scaling. Thanks. You guys are team players. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, D-scale. Maybe you do a D-scale. Maybe you do a jet. Maybe you do a camera inspection. Call a year later and say, how's everything flowing? How's everything doing? Maybe you could do a half-price camera inspection. Maybe you can extend the warranty another year if they let you do another camera inspection. I don't know. I'm just a guy with ideas. I don't know. Who knows? You could do so many different things. Yeah, you can't type as fast as you're. Shoot, I'll tell you what. I'm turning 50 this year, and my memory, it's crazy. It's like that. As soon as January 1st came, 2026, I was 50 mentally. Maybe 55. I lived a tough life growing up. D-scale. You're having this moment because it's been too long since you've been live. Yeah, Raylene, you're right. It's been so long. I'm a plumbing tech, and we will start using your tips to get our team better. I watch on Spotify. Oh, cool. You're the guy that's watching on Spotify. No, I'm kidding. We actually won. What were we, guys? We were top 3% shared, or top. We were the top in the top 3% of the top 1%. 12. Top 1%. We were up there. We were really shared. They shared us a lot. Say it like that. I think 97% of our, I don't know. We were above 97% of all other podcasts for being shared. However that is. When you reduce that and rework it, divide it by 2, carry the 1. John Peavy knows Lance. Cool. There it goes. The show's already starting inside the comments. I'll work for Jeff King. Oh, what's up, bro? You're in the trainings. Oh, great. Now you're gonna use this. You're gonna use this against me. You guys all know each other. That's great. I love it. Plumbers be knowing plumbers. Top 1 in my book. Juan Rend, what's up, bro? Oh my gosh, good to see you. So long, it has been a while. Look, if you're following up with your customers and you're not relying on their memory, they're gonna remember you more, right? Just this idea of staying in front of them, touch points, and you got to get creative with these touch points. You can't just be like deal, 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 offer, offer, offer. It's got to be out of love. It's got to be out of courtesy, out of service. If they buy a water softener from you, get a hold of them every 2 months, whether it's some sort of drip campaign through email or something to remind them about their filling their salt. It doesn't always, in fact, it shouldn't always be about an offer. There's a value in just staying in front of your customer. There's a value in following up. One of the questions I keep getting on here right now is, what do you do when you follow up with someone that didn't do work? Well, first of all, I'm going to be honest with you. If I leave a home, other than a situation like, let's rule a couple things out. They're installing a pool in 6 months and they want me to run the gas line for the pool heater they're going to put in 6 months. I understand I'm not doing that job today. I probably don't even want to do that job today. I want to see where everything's going to lay out first. So that's fine. I was on a call in Canada with Plums Up, and it's right outside of Orangeville, Canada, right outside of Toronto. And by the way, their water lines are like 12 feet deep because of the freeze line. Not really, but they're pretty deep. But anyways, this guy was putting in a pool house. So he was getting a quote for a pool house. Well, they're just now digging the hole for the pool. We're not putting that pool house in today. So stuff like that, I get it. Now, most of the time, 90% of the time when I run a call, it's an active problem. It's a problem they have right now. It's a problem they need resolved right now. And the only reason they're telling me no is because A, I intrigued them with bigger offer, bigger options, bigger solutions, and they genuinely need to talk to their spouse to make sure. Or B, I landed outside their expectations. My price was too high, I didn't build enough value, something. So I'm always going to try to figure that out. Like, why? Because that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you call a plumber and then them not fix the problem? That makes absolutely no sense. Now, look, I'm a realist. I get why why you get told no, but I'm just saying on the surface of things, it doesn't make any sense. You with me on this? Who's with me on this? Come on, tell me if you're with me on like why would Tanner? No way, dude. What's up, bro? Come on, who's with me on this? Right? There's no way you would go to a customer's house. They have a leaking water heater, and they're like, you know what? Let me see if we still want to fix this thing. You're like, what? Nah. You are lying. Nah, not really. They're not lying, but they're not telling the whole. The heater's leaking and it's flowing out of the pan. I had a guy one time. It's not a huge deal. It's all good out here. Super common in this. Yeah, I had a guy one time. I was at a call when I was running the shop in Indianapolis, and he goes, he was leaving the house, and he calls me. And he's like, yeah, they're gonna do it. And I was like, all right. So like, are you doing it? And he's like, no, they're gonna do it tomorrow. And I was like, what? It was actively leaking water heater. And I was like, when are they doing it? And they're like, tomorrow. And he's like, why aren't they doing it tonight? And he's like, oh, they got ballet practice later, and they're gonna go to that. I was like, bro, they ain't going to ballet practice. They're calling our competitor right now. They're calling someone else right now. As you're driving away, they're dialing the numbers. So I called her up, was like, hey, this is Chris. I'm the general manager. Just real quick, it's not normal for us to leave someone with a water heater leaking. Is there anything we could have done different or better? Is there anything we could have done different? And she was like, yeah, your price was too high. I just thought it would be cheaper. And, that was like, okay, well, we can talk about that. I don't know, what we got to be realistic here, but we can talk about that a little bit. Like, it doesn't have to be just all flat no, especially at 2:00. There's no other call. Like, come on, maybe, let's talk it out. Let's have a discussion. So that's how I'd follow up with that, right? And then, but before you leave, I should say, you should be asking some questions. Like, hey, it's not normal for me to leave a home with a leaking water heater. Is there anything? And don't be weird about it. Don't be all weird about it. You know, follow-ups are so crucial because people need time. You know, in our program, we teach the techs how to run through the call the right way, how to talk about things the right way, how to diagnose, make it all about diagnosing, because when you do that, what happens is the customer is more open to what's going on. If you make it about suggestive selling or suggesting new things or recommending replacements before they're even wrapped their mind around what the original problem is, they can't take that in. They can't palate that. It's almost like trying to feed someone who's full. It's not that the food isn't good. It's just they're full. They can't take it in. They can't palate it. So we got to make sure that we're positioning ourselves correctly as experts and not salesmen. At the end of the day, who isn't a salesman? My kids are salesmen. I mean, who isn't, right? Everyone's selling something. I was just talking about this in a training course. We do like coaching all the time. We have, I think, what's today? Thursday? What do we have today? We had full-on coaching. It's been a couple of days of coaching. You know, every day I coach 3 companies at least, and then also like yesterday and today we coached everyone in our program, owners in one session, techs in another session. So it's been a couple of days. Then we just like, hey, let's launch the live show on a training week. That way we can make it even more for Chris to talk about. Chris, talk more. Talk, Chris, talk. I like talking. I'm not mad about it. I like it. It's okay. So, you know, you're having all these discussions, thinking about this stuff, and I see all these different scenarios, and it's so obvious to us, like, where the problems are. And it's like, man, if people just followed up more, it would make up for this call volume issue. It would make up for this sales issue. It's like just calculate it at 20%, meaning if you follow up with everyone in every customer you go, you can use this number wherever you want. Follow up with all the customers that said no to you. Follow up with all the customers that said yes to you but didn't do everything you recommended. Follow up with, that's for you techs. For you companies, follow up with every customer that's ever come through your doors that did work, didn't do work, might have done work, wanted to do work, did a little bit of work, would do more work one day, whatever, whoever they are, doesn't matter. Follow up with them. Look, you know, here's another creative one. If someone calls you and says, you know, can you come out to my house? And you're like, we can't get out there today. And they're like, I can't wait. Call them back in a couple of days. I know they already got it fixed, but just be like, how'd the experience go? How'd everything go? Was everything great? Did you guys get taken care of? Just want to make sure you're okay. You're going to be remembered. That's crazy style service follow-up. Like, well, you're not even their customer, but you're going to be the last one to talk to them. But you're going to be the last one to talk to them. Because I know that other plumbing company isn't watching this show. I know they're not following up. I invested $207,000 into development of an app so companies could follow up with customers because I know you don't follow up. That's how much I believe in that. I mean, I believe in follow-up. That's how much I believe you don't follow up. What do you say to them? I assume you're talking about oh, yeah, I can't remember what I just said, Jeff. That was 8 seconds ago. I assume you're talking about when you follow up with someone who didn't do work with you. Yeah, I assume that's who it is. But hey, this is Chris over at Peach Plumbing down here in Atlanta or over here on Roswell or whatever, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever. And just following up, you called us a couple of days ago about a water heater. You couldn't wait. We couldn't get to you. And I think you already got it taken care of. I just want to make sure everything got done. You're good to go. Your water's hot. I'm telling you right now, they're going to be like, yeah. Who is this again? I mean, think about what marketing is. Isn't marketing just touch points, touch types? This is a freebie. You already paid for the lead. You might as well get another touch out of it. Calling all the service plumbers out. You know, I'll be honest with you, Jake. I'm an advocate for any owner I work with knows that I believe that the service plumber is the first customer. I'm an advocate for you. Look, man, service plumbers, dude, shoot. You know, plumbers like on a construction site or remodeled plumbers, $25 an hour, $30 an hour, $35 an hour. But service plumbers, man, $100,000 a year. And the difference is you know, both are installing, but only one's problem solving for the most part. Only one's diagnosing. Only one's having to build relationships with customers all day, every day, going into people's worst moments, making it better. That's why it's service. That's why it's service. It's not plumbing, it's service plumbing. And if you spend 4 years learning how to plumb and another 6 mastering that craft, you ought to be spending that time learning people because half the job is people. Half the job is people. I told, Jeff, I can't wait to share this with my video in my office. I wouldn't have sang right there if I'd have known that you were going to share this with your office. I mean, yeah, Jake, what are you, bro? You're a service plumber. So what are you? You're a problem solver? You're a counselor? You're an engineer? You're a family counselor? You're a marriage counselor sometimes, right? You're right? Right. Let me get some laughy faces on that one. How many marriage counselors out there? How many of y'all realize you're marriage counselors? Like, I knew it was his fault. Like, no. This would have gone wrong. This wouldn't have gone. What else? Financial counselors, financial analysts, financial advisors. What'd you say? I mean, you got a good opinion about that, but if you're out there diagnosing and you don't know how to do the job, then you're the one that goes out and does it. Who's responsible for that? And you're the one that goes out and does it. I'm struggling with that one. I want to get it, but I'm not the fastest. Help me out, team. I mean, you got a good job. What am I missing there?
He's saying if he goes out and diagnoses, but he doesn't know how to do the work, who's responsible? That's what it sounds like.
Who's responsible? As in, well, you. I mean, I early on in my career in this, I did go out and diagnose at times and offered options and sold, and other guys went in and did the work. There's been times in my career where I've gone out and offered options. I've done the work. There's been times in my career where I sat in the office. I think I've played all the roles. I've been CSR. I've been treated like an apprentice my whole life. Yeah, I'd say that is Nick. I think, yeah, he's the salesman, but not the installer. I would say that's what that would be, the way that I read that. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I'm not a huge fan of that because for a lot of reasons. The biggest problem I've seen with that model, and again, I don't mean to go off on you. I don't even know if that's what you were originally saying. And Nick, you might be right. That is what he's saying. I don't know. But for those that are thinking that, the problem with that model is the engineer, the plumber, the service plumber that's going in, you got to make sure that they're a part of the solution. You can't, a true engineer can't, put in someone else's solution. They gotta kind of be a part of like how it's gonna get plumbed, how it's gonna get solved, how it's gonna get done. So I'm a big fan of that being the case. JT says serving you people is the thing that makes the job have feel good part of it. Yeah, it does feel good to serve 100%. It feels great to serve. Tanner, I see you popping on here, bro. It's been forever, man. Tanner's one of the first people I remember ever watching the show 7 or 8 years ago. Tanner came to an on-site water heater, water softener school that I did. It was a great dude, man. Just a young guy, killer, caught on real quick, and was a stud of a plumber. I think went off and started his own company. Just absolute beast. Okay, let's talk about the third point. First of all, on that second point, before we go, oh, it's coming up. Point 3. I already knew it. I heard the button click as soon as I said it. I knew it was coming. Okay, people don't want to be spammed. This goes back to the reason, back to giving that reason. I want to tie all this together for you if you guys think about follow-ups. And I want you to think about, look, you got to have a way, you have to have a way to be able to truly get in front of your customer and to really stay in front of them in a way that serves them. So my wife, I was talking to my wife, we created this app. By the way, if you want information about the app, if you want us to talk to you about any of our programs, tech programs, you can email us at info@theplumbingsalescoach.com. You can reach out to us, and we'll Mary, my sister, Mary White. I see Guy White on here, by the way, popping on and off here. Guy and Mary are married. But Mary White will reach out to you, and she will talk to you about the different things that we have, and we'll give you some options, and we'll let you think about it and whatnot and do what you need to do. But that app, we were talking about this app, and I want to kind of show you guys this customer journey really quick on the screen. And I want you to think about, this is the journey of a customer in service plumbing. So the customer is going to, in some fashion or in some way, they're going to get advertised to. And I want to flash up really quick the customer journey on the screen and get that up there really quick so everyone can see it. And so you kind of see this right here. This is kind of the customer journey. And I call it the customer experience journey because I believe customers should get an experience. By the way, if you call a handyman or something like that, and by the way, I respect handyman for what they do, but they're not plumbers. The pricing strategy changes. For example, I don't really attribute McDonald's to be like Michelin star chefs, but they're making food. But at the end of the day, the pricing on that food isn't going to be the same as if I go get Wagyu steak. So I want an experience when I'm spending a premium dollar, and I believe plumbers charge a premium dollar. So if you look at this experience journey right here, you look, the customer talks to the CSR, and then they talk to the service plumber, and then they leave a review, and then you follow up. And that's kind of the traditional thing. And unfortunately, a lot of that follow-up falls on a sticker on the water heater, a sticker on the garbage disposal, maybe a tag on the main or something to that effect, maybe a happy call the next day. And those touch points up there that you see are typically text messages of some kind. So they book the call with the CSR, and then they have a little touch point that's maybe a text message when the tech's on their way. Service Titan, House Call Pro, all of them do it. They send a text message out saying, here's your tech, he'll be on his way, be out there in about 30 minutes. From there, we see another touch point after the service plumber goes out, does the call, runs the call, helps with the customer problem, collects the money. They typically get a follow-up link saying, hey, can you leave us a review? And then hopefully you get the review, and then after that you follow up. That's kind of the customer journey pattern. If you agree with that, just type in just type in something in the comments like I agree, or that's exactly right. That is how it goes. And we've got a little arrow on there that kind of loops it, comes down. That's the goal. But the reality is that customer's on a timeline from left to right. Okay, they're on a timeline from left to right, meaning they're going from CSR. They probably talk to the CSR Tuesday at 8 a.m. They talk to the service plumber when they come out to the home, maybe on Wednesday at 2 p.m. They leave the review on Thursday. Maybe you follow up Thursday afternoon or Friday. And then as life goes on, that arrow, it just keeps going, and hopefully they see your sticker again. Hopefully they're reminded. Hopefully somehow. Okay, type agree if you agree with that. If you see that, you agree with that. Jeremy says agree. Tony says agree. Tanner says that new gen. He's that new gen. They're doing. Oh, sorry, right here I got my hands covered with the graphics. I haven't done a show in a long time, guys. I'm used to just being. There's no graphics when you just are online. Nick says beautifully laid out. Okay, so we got to find a way to follow up. And if you think about it like a timeline, imagine that follow-up box. Every time you follow up, you just add another one to the timeline. So it doesn't replace that one, but it just add another one. And eventually the right follow-up at the right time hooks them back into your life. Because here's the deal. You can take that graphic down if you want. Here's the deal. Well, actually, leave it up. Sorry, leave it up. Whoop, whoop. A little whoop, whoop. That's like when the DJ's like, wooka, wooka. Or is that what that was like? Like, wooka, wooka, when they scratch the record? You have to imagine that my team is also not 50. They're like bunch of 22-year-olds, bunch of smart little young. They're all laughing at me right now. Okay, so the goal is to do that. So you think that now we have a CSR boot camp that we sell and offer and train. We have a service plumber boot camp and tech training. We have a whole program for CSRs and techs, and then we have an owner a program for owners so they can learn about marketing, and then we have the app for the follow up. So you see how we understand the customer journey, and we're offering solutions to each area, just like you understand the plumbing and offer solutions to all of your customers. And in the same way, you need to understand your customer journey. That's it right there. And I understand your customer journey because I've lived it as a customer, and I've been it as an owner. I've been it as a GM. I've been it as a service manager. I've been it as someone that's had to run calls. I've been it. I get it. But at the same time, we have to impact it. Follow-ups is how we stay in their life, and the more we stay in their life, the more likely we're going to get that call. Do not rely on Google at $200, $250 to get them to let you serve the customer. And the other thing, too, is if you're going to spend all that money to get the customer into that cycle, how in the world are you just going to let them leave and fade away off into the sunset? You better be around when they need to get more stuff done, because if you're not, that's a lot of money to spend on a lead, and you didn't really get much out of that. That'd be like buying lemons, squeezing them once, getting as much lemonade or lemon juice out of it, and then throwing it away and being like, I'm a lemonade company. No, you're a lemon waster company. Does everyone know that this amazing man has 8 children too? Jeff, thank you. Same mom, he would say. That is right. Me and my wife, one kid at a time. One kid at a time. What's up, Douglas? Josh, where y'all from? Tony, where y'all from? Hey, look, if you want more tips, more understanding like this, if you're excited we're doing the show, let us know in the comments. Tag your friends, tag everyone. Let them know that this is coming. This is kind of recorded because it's going to live on the internet for a while. I don't know for how long, how that works. But every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m., we'll be doing these shows. We'll be doing giveaways in the future. We'll be doing a lot more. We're right in the middle of transition between our buildings. We got a whole new building getting done. We have a brand new studio being built out inside of that building. So a lot of that's getting done. I think we move in either in a week or two. So we're real close. Everything's pretty close to being done. We're pretty excited about that. So that's coming. Can't wait to bring more of this energy, more of this knowledge to all of you in 2026. Check out our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and all of the channels. If you want to see funny videos, if you want to see me acting like I'm basically 26, talking all that cool stuff like bussing and whatnot, you can go check out our TikTok channel. But we have tons of funny videos and educational clips as well. And so we're just trying to put out as much content to impact the industry as possible. Again, if you want products or services from us, if you want our help, if you want to know how we can help you, info@theplumbingsalescoach.com. Guys, we love you. And if you've been watching this show for a long time, if you're one of those longtime fans, let me know, when was the first time you started watching us? How long have you been following this journey? And we want to kind of start paying attention to who our followers are. We want to start sending out gear, start sending out hats and different things like that. We want to reward you guys. These are some of the companies that we work with here. And so if you send us in your hats, you send in different gear to us, we'll try to get you on the show. Says appreciate the knowledge. You're welcome. Absolutely love that you watch the show. Appreciate you guys hanging out for so long with us. About 52 minutes, guys. That's it's not a bad way to start. I kind of feel like that's like opening night in the NBA. We put up 52 points, right? It's kind of it's what it feels like. Kind of, yeah. I don't know. Fire lit ballin'. I love it, Raylene. Fire lit ballin'. Do I feel like you make me feel 25 when you say this stuff. Like, yo, what up, G Dog, Funk Era, Classic. You're sus. I don't know. All right, what up? No, I'm not even gonna do it. Okay, guys, look, I love you for real. As always, remember, serve your communities in everything, not just plumbing. Have a great night. Thanks for watching The Fresh Experience. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Fresh Approach, on Google, Apple, and your favorite podcast channel.